how to do Exiles. I told myself I wasn't going to do a build guide for the point 3 launch, but I don't know. I just kind of got an itch. So I put something together. This is essentially the build that I played in, well, I guess in this current league since it's not Friday yet. And it is Infernalist Storm Witch. It's slightly not as good because Infernal Hound ended up getting nerfed. So we don't really get that defensive aspect of it. So with the Infernal Hound, I mean, I give the defense a 4 out of 5. Just for the simple fact that we're minions, we have a ton of life in ES. But without it, it's a 3. Your biggest advantage is that you are playing minions. And you can essentially dodge pretty much everything you need to do while simultaneously having 100% uptime. So it's really nice. And Storm Mages are getting a pretty decent buff and 0.3.0. So I thought, you know what? Let's just do a little build guide. There is a build showcase. This is not the final build, unfortunately. But it is I think it's like almost to where I was at with this particular set of gear. So this will give you a good idea of what it looks like. Unfortunately, as far as I know, Minion Collision is still a thing. So you'll have to do the Scepter swap in order to unsummon and then resummon instantly through corridors, tight pathways, doorways, and things of that nature. Beyond that, it's a very chill, very comfortable playstyle. We invest a little bit into crit. I think they have about almost 30% crit, somewhere around there. And yeah, we just run real chill, simple stuff. For your pre-Storm Mage setup, I run snipers with Flame Wall, Summon Infernal Hellhound, with Elemental Army for some res and meat shield, so it kind of stays alive. Its damage is pretty okay. It's nothing to scoff at, and it will help just general clear. Frostbomb for the good old exposure. Since that's essentially being changed, we now have pretty easy to get exposure. Obviously, conductivity is going to be changing, so you can just swap the gem out because max roll is not updated. Also, the passive skill tree is also not fully updated as of yet, but it will be. I will update it to what it is in the current state of the character. And then when the new tree comes out, I will also update that as well. For you guys, hopefully it's either right before the league launch or shortly thereafter. Obviously, I'll be able to get a better idea when it becomes available. It'll be a lot easier to update when it's on max roll and all that hoo-ha. However, my personal way to run is Skeletal Sniper with Flame Wall. And I totally forgot to add this. And then I like to run, where's it at? Where is it? I like to run Contagion. And I like to run Contagion with Persistence. It's just a really nice clearing ability. It helps a little bit with single target. Which the snipers they kind of take a bit to ramp up, but this is the setup that I ran more or less. Snipers, fire infusion, scattershot, flame wall, fortress, and persistence. We can use these same gems now, which is amazing. And frostbomb, shield charge, pain offering with persistence and LE army to keep it alive. We try our best to run on malevolence. Obviously, when you're leveling, take what you can get, and it may not be malice, and maybe something else. You just want to try to focus plus all minion skill gems, presence damage, presence cast speed, or attack speed, depending on if you're running snipers or storm mages at that point. And yeah, so the snipers just deal more damage because they shoot through the flame wall. And then when you get a bit more into Act 1, you can run less snipers and then run a Summon Raging Spirit setup if you'd like. I think there's merits to both. I don't think I did it that way. I think I just wanted to run as many skeletal snipers as I could. but you're just as fine running, summon Raging Spirits and just kind of going ham and having a couple, maybe one or two snipers on the side. I think both work fine. Raging Spirits, Fire Infusion, and a Martial Tempo, since they are melee technically. And this is pretty much our pre-Storm Mage setup. I have a little bit of information here in the notes that you can kind of check out. And then when you get to a point, tier 11, you can start cutting your Storm Mages. We end up running Clerics with Arcane Tempo, Ellie, Army, and Meat Shield, so they stay alive and keep our little boys alive. And then we run Storm Mage with Lightning Pen, Feeding Frenzy, and Arcane Tempo. The fact that our skeleton clerics are able to stay alive longer, I'm way more comfortable to run Feeding Frenzy because I trust the clerics to keep my guys alive a lot better this go around. Now the Endgame build, I rarely ever had a Storm Mage die, but it is nice. That might be different if I didn't run the clerics, right? So I think it's important to run the clerics personally. Then we run Pain Offering, Persistence, Ablation, and Ellie Army. Obviously, conductivity is changing to the Ellie weakness. And that's going to be Hex Bloom, Focus Curse, and Inspiration, so it costs less. Little shield charge for some movements, Frost Bomb for some exposure. And then of course, our summon Hellhound, Meat Shield, Ellie Army, and Fire Exposure. Just to increase its damage. I don't know if you can have... I actually don't know this. If you can have double exposure of two different types on the same target at once. It might be the case that you can only have one type of exposure at a time. If it is the case that you can only have one at a time, just dump Fire Exposure and replace it with something else. Something a bit more damage oriented, just to bolster the damage output of your Infernal Hound. If it is the case, leave it in. It'll do more damage with its like little presence aura thing. And then the end game, where we get all of our setups squared away. Frost Bomb for our exposure. Conductivity, we've already spoken of. It's going to be Ellie Weakness. The Pain Offering gets a Minion Mastery Edition. And then our Storm Mage is Lightning Mastery, Minion Mastery, Lightning Pen, Feeding Frenzy, and Arcane Tempo. So they can just pass as fast as we can get them to. I believe on the current build, they are level 32. And they can be bolstered. I was using the Oaksworn Shield, but it's currently in a nerfed state right now. So it's probably not really worth using. I think it's much a better route to run the Sun Splinter if you can find one and afford it. Preferably one with +3 level to all lightning skill gems. That'll essentially take them to 35. And the fact that they're already being buffed, level 35 minions, it's real nice. Right? It's super, super good. And then for our cleric, Arcane Tempo, so they cast faster. Ellie Army, Meat Shield, and Last Gasp, to make sure that they can stay alive just a little bit longer in case they do get hit and die. And then the Hellhound, Magnified Effect. They're already, actually, I believe the Presence Aura is actually getting buffed for the Infernal Hellhound, so this will make it even bigger, which is nice because, AoE always a nice thing. Fire Mastery, Meat Shield, Ellie Army, and Fire Exposure. We already spoke on this particular one right here. You can always replace it with something else. Fire Infusion's probably not a bad one to go. You can just kind of play around with it and see kind of what works for you. I don't think you're really going to notice too much either way, but just probably as a cautionary thing, I might as well not even use this, and just to make sure that we're getting the exposure that we need from Frost Bomb. And it may be the case that because exposure is changing, I don't even know if this really needs to be in here at all, right? So we can probably honestly just drop this. It could be like whatever you want to put in here that is fire focused. Yeah, right here. We can do LE focus. Cannot inflict elemental ailments, but I'm pretty sure that the presence overrides this one because the presence always ignites. So I'm pretty sure that overwrites that. But if we want to be like double sure, we'll just put some Fire Infusion. Fire Pen is not going to work for what we think it's going to work for, because that's for hits. And there, we're good to go. We got Fire Infusion. It'll deal a bit more damage, and I'll be very happy. This build did juice content, T17 or the whatever the tier above T16 was. Can't remember what they call it. Most of the content I was able to do. It excels a great deal. There aren't chains like 5 times. It's insane. It's so good. Storm Mages were not as good as Frost, but they're certainly going to be up there where Frost was with the current buff that we're coming into, that we're going to be seeing on Friday. Anyways, that's really the build. As far as our gear goes, we really enjoy life stacking to a pretty good degree. Because the more life we have, the more max ES we have, and the more max spirit we have. I think currently I got run 2 clerics, 12 storm mages. If you can find an extra 30-odd-ish spirit somewhere, you can probably run up to 13, maybe 14 if you like really heavily min-max it. Like honestly, I could get a better wand, I could get a better scepter with another 70% spirit, and we would be kind of cooking, right? I mean, there's still damage left on this in-game gear setup to really pump out a bit more damage. Same thing here. ES, max life, reses, same thing. I mean, all this gear is essentially the same. ES, max life, movement speed, res. Forget about this ring. This kind of filled all the boxes that I needed, minus the implicit. Doesn't have to be an emerald ring. We do not need accuracy. Same thing here. If you can find spirit on the gear, snag it, right? Intelligence, thumbs up. ES, life. It's checking all the boxes. By scaling life, we're also scaling ES. So it's nice to get a mod of life and a mod of ES to further bolster our ES, right? We're sitting at almost 5,000 ES and like 2,500 HP, right? Because these 2 nodes reserve life. Same thing here. Life, res, plus 2 to level of all minion skills. Extremely important. Life, ton of energy shield, res. This is any kind of presence stuff. Ideally, the setup we have right here with a little bit better mods and some spirit if at all possible. And then, like I said, we were originally running the Oak Sworn. That's out. It's gone. No longer has the spirit. And now we want to run the Sun Splinter. And then a neck that kind of looks like this. Plus 3, thumbs up, spirit, max life. I mean, it really has almost everything that we need. And that's our gear. And you can look at this gear and, this will give you an idea of what to look for during the campaign, right? And it's always nice to have a shield, raise shield. You can block everything now. So that's kind of nice. And some strengths and weaknesses. I'm not going to bother with a skill rotation. This whole build is like 3 buttons, 2 to 3 buttons, right? And that's it. I'm really only casting the Pain Offering and the Curse. And then the third one will be our Frost Bomb for the exposure. And so, I mean, for the most part, you just run around, try not to die, and your minions will essentially blow everything out of the water. I had a really good time with this build. I was able to clear all the content in the game, save for maybe 1 or 2 things that I just didn't even do. I didn't really enjoy it, I guess. Full runs of Trial of Chaos, like the whole way. All the bosses and the maps, all the pinnacle content, like all of it was done on this Storm Mage build. So, like I said, I'll get the tree updated as soon. I'll go ahead and get the passage tree updated to what it is currently tonight and or tomorrow, and then as soon as we get the new tree, I will rework it and save the profile so that if anyone wants to use this build, they can be rest assured that they will be taken care of. So anyways, that's it. That's the build. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this type of content, you want to see more, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Upvote and rate the build, obviously, on maxroll.gg. I would like to thank them for this whole website that they have going for build guides is absolutely amazing. It's hyper intuitive. It's really fantastic. I'm very impressed with this website. This is my first time using it. Typically, I do all my stuff in POB. Yeah, this thing is phenomenally good. I love it. As far as what I'm going to be running for League launch, I don't really have a build. I'm probably just going to run Deadeye Eye Shot, and I'll just build it as I go. I'm not really interested in like planning anything out. That's not really fun for me in PoE2. I just want to kind of go and fill the build out and work out the kinks and the puzzles along the way. That's essentially what I did with this build. I didn't plan anything out. I was just like, I want to run Storm Mages. And then we ended up making a build that cleared the game. So I have full confidence that this build will perform and be good. And that's it. Have a good day. Have a good night. I will see you guys on League launch. And yeah, be good. Take care of yourselves and God bless.